Thank you. Welcome to our table pitch competition, where we have 3 libraries that have the opportunity to showcase their ideas on how they support economic development, job creation, entrepreneurship, equity in practice, innovation, and more. My name is LaMonica Wiggins. I'm from the University of Pittsburgh. I'm one of the co-chairs of the pitch competition, and I'm going to hand it over to our other co-chair, Geeta, to do an introduction for us. Thank you for joining us today.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And this pitch competition has been brought to you by the Entrepreneurship and Libraries Conference, also known as ELC. The ELC hosts free conferences and workshops on how libraries support entrepreneurship in their communities and campuses. The ELC is for and by information professionals who support and believe in the power of inquiry and information to transform lives and support entrepreneurial endeavors. At this time, I would also like to thank our sponsors. We have 4 of them. We have EBSCO, Privco, Simply Analytics, and an anonymous sponsor. At this time, I'd like to invite Duncan Smith of EBSCO. Hello, Duncan, to say a few words.
Hello, Geeta. How are you? Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Well, I just first of all want to say that we at EBSCO appreciate this opportunity to support the Entrepreneurship and Libraries Conference in this competition, and the opportunity to provide libraries a chance to fund and explore their services to people in their community, and services that will help ensure a brighter economic future and a richer lives for their users. But I also want to take just a second to thank the team at the Entrepreneurship and Libraries Conference for all the work that you do to make events like this possible. It's your commitment to and your vision for libraries as essential places where people can discover their inner entrepreneur that makes all of this worthwhile and makes EBSCO very happy and proud to be a participant in it. So thank you, everyone, and let's get on with it.
Our second sponsor is Juan Vasquez of Simply Analytics. Juan, hello.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. So Juan here from the Simply Analytics team. Thank you all for inviting us to be one of the sponsors of today's event. We're really happy to be here, and it's so nice to see so many familiar names. Thank you as well to everyone for participating and contributing to this wonderful event. This helps to kind of promote the ecosystem, and this competition is a part of that. So a bit of Simply Analytics news. So we've recently revamped our website. So it's a completely new website. So please check it out when you have some time, and let us know what you think when you have a moment. Thank you again, everyone, and good luck.
And our third sponsor is Daniel Gingert of Privco. Hello, Daniel.
I don't think Daniel's here, actually, Geeta.
Okay. Well, I'll post his name and email address and the website in chat. LaMonica.
Thank you, Geeta. We'd like to take this time to thank our planning team for today's pitch competition and for our previous Pitch Perfect workshop. You can see our planning team here. I'd like to especially thank the co-chairs, Steve and Geeta, for helping to lead our planning team, in addition to all these wonderful folks who worked hard to get today's pitch competition up and running. So I'm going to hand it over now to Jackie, who will talk to us about the ELC, our code of conduct, and such for today's event. Jackie?
All right, thank you. So even though we have this diverse planning group, the ELC programming is officially a service of Blink Business Librarianship in North Carolina, which is a section of the North Carolina Library Association. We do have an ELC code of conduct. If you'd like to read more, we will put a link in the chat. But I'm just going to read two sections or sentences. Each ELC participant has the right to learn, network, and socialize in an environment of mutual respect and professionalism, free from harassment, discrimination, and retaliation. Creating such an environment is a shared responsibility of everyone involved in ELC events. So please contact the ELC Pitch Competition 2024 co-chairs if you believe you've been harassed or that a code of conduct violation exists, and we'll put their contact information in the chat. Now I'm going to pass it over to Kelly for some Zoom housekeeping.
Thank you so much, Jackie. Hi, I'm Kelly. During the speaker talks, we ask that you please keep yourself muted. Otherwise, the co-host will mute attendees whose mics are contributing to background noise. So please make sure that's done. And then also, please keep your video off unless you would like to turn it on when asking a question verbally. Comments and questions are welcome in the chat box at any time. However, during the open discussions, please feel free to leave your mics and/or videos on if you would like. All sessions except the concluding discussion will be recorded. And if we end up being Zoom hacked, we will shut down the session and email you a new Zoom link immediately. Now, joining us today is our panel of judges. First up, we have Adriana Nunez. We have Kanisha Raymond, who is the Director of Programs at Startup Tucson, Arizona. We also have Catherine Tran, who is the Executive Director at the Immigrant Entrepreneurs Summit in Des Moines, Iowa. And last but not least, we have Adriana Nunez, who is the Director of Innovation and Entrepreneurship of the Round Rock, Texas Chamber of Commerce. Next, I will pass. Also, details about our judges are all posted on the ELC website. Next up, I will pass this on to Geeta, who will review our rules.
Going over the rules, the three finalists will have 5 minutes to pitch their ideas. The judges could ask questions of the finalists up to 3 minutes per pitch. To minimize disruptions during the pitches, please stay on mute and turn your video off. You will have the opportunity to vote for your favorite pitch at the end of our event, with the winner receiving $750. We also ask that audience members employed by the three libraries represented in the pitches do not participate in the Audience Choice Award. That would be unfair to the smaller libraries that compete today. Make sure to stay tuned as the winners are announced later in the program. Thank you, and I'll pass this next to La Monica.
Thank you, Vita. So without further ado, let's begin the pitch competition with our pitch presenters. Our first presenter is Tech to Trade, Bridging the Digital Divide for Entrepreneurs with Camry Varfley. I'm so sorry if I am mispronouncing your name. And we'll get started with our first pitch.
Thank you. And yes, you did pronounce my name correctly. Thank you for correcting. Right.
You should have the ability to share your screen.
Okay. I do apologize for any construction sounds in the background. Okay. Is everyone able to see the presentation?
Yes.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. Hello, judges. My name is Camry Vartfleet, and I am currently the Entrepreneur Specialist here at the Knight Memorial Library. And I'm here to present to you Tech to Trade, Bridging the Digital Divide for Immigrant Entrepreneurs. In the words of iconic songwriter Lin-Manuel Miranda, immigrants, we get the job done. Immigrant entrepreneurs represent a vibrant yet underserved population. In Rhode Island, immigrant entrepreneurs generate hundreds of millions of dollars in business revenue. And in 2020, immigrants accounted for 29% of business owners in the Providence metropolitan area. Immigrant entrepreneurs also encounter significant obstacles, including language barriers, limited access to capital, unfamiliarity with local business practices, lack of networking opportunities, and difficulty adapting to the evolving digital landscape. These challenges contribute to lower rates of business success and economic integration among immigrant communities. Addressing these barriers are crucial for fostering economic development and empowering marginalized entrepreneurs. I saw a lot of dreams and aspirations, but not a lot of tools and resources. It was like watching someone trying to win a race on a bike with flat tires, as you can see here. With Tech to Trade, we would focus on the true MVPs of our community, immigrant entrepreneurs. Here's the vision for Tech to Trade. Over the course of 12 weeks, workshops run in Spanish will teach patrons how to use a laptop, navigate Google software, and surf the web safely. This will act as a foundation for entrepreneurship, as this will equip patrons with the ability to type a business plan, conduct market research, find funding opportunities, and more. And the best part, following the completion of the tech program, patrons may keep the laptops they have been training with, eliminating finances as a barrier to tech equipment. This would also act as an incentive for aspiring entrepreneurs to complete the course in its entirety. Here's our shopping list. We would like to get laptops and mobile hotspots and accessories for a class of no larger than 10. We would like to be able to compensate independent contractors to facilitate digital literacy workshops and provide individualized support and assistance. Development of and acquisition of multilingual digital literacy resources, which would include books and other educational materials, and any miscellaneous expenses that may include software licenses, printing costs, and supplies, and anything else necessary for program implementation. Now, what makes me qualified to spearhead such a huge initiative? Aside from working in a library space for 4 years, I have a master's degree in business administration with a concentration in marketing. I currently operate my own business in North Providence. I have also served as director of programming for the Omega Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and I'm also a certified entrepreneur library specialist. But as we know, it is better to work smarter and not harder. While I am the only Community Libraries of Providence staff member dedicated towards entrepreneurship services, I would not be working alone. So here's a little bit about our dream team. For multilingual collection building and development, I will be working with our lead adult services librarian, Avelina Rochillo, who is also an immigrant herself and has had years of experience working with Spanish-speaking patrons in the library. To further flesh out this program, I would work with our Latino programs coordinator, Carolina Briones, who spearheads all Spanish programs, including all of our ESL and GED programs. Assisting me with program development and implementation will be library supervisor Michelle Freeman, who is also a certified entrepreneur specialist like myself. And to ensure that we're getting the most user-friendly technology for our students, our own IT manager, Dylan Morrisroe, will be involved in the planning process. And finally, we would work with the Dorcas International Institute, which is a nonprofit that offers adult education, language learning, job training, and more. Members from this organization would join us in the recruitment process and as instructors as they've done so in the past with our other library programs taught in Spanish. This would also help patrons establish local connections to build their businesses and help them network with industry experts and professionals. At the end of 12 weeks, students will graduate with a certificate of completion, have a complete business plan that they would be able to showcase to receive further feedback, walk away with their very own laptop computer, and have made connections with local business owners, small business support agencies, and other resources, have a year membership with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and still have continued support through the library, including mentorship and research assistance. This would be more than a program. It would be a gateway to turning barriers into stepping stones. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cameron. We now have some time for our judges if they have any questions they'd like to ask. Great job.
Thank you.
Great job. I'm Kenesha. My only question is if you don't get this funding, how will this program go on, or will it not go on?
It would definitely be in more of a smaller capacity. So for instance, we would still host digital literacy programs in Spanish, but we wouldn't be able to have our patrons walk away with the technology. So we would be using our like in-house technology, for example.
One more question. What is your measure of success for this program?
So some ways that I would like to track success and impact is actual technical skills. So measuring their technological skills beforehand through a self-assessment, and then afterwards to see what the improvement looks like. And also tracking how many of these patrons seriously express intent to continue entrepreneurship following the program.
Thank you. Great job.
Thank you.
I just had a quick comment for you. I think it's great that you're looking to partner with other organizations in the area to reach this group of people, because sometimes I think they don't think to come and ask for help. It's a group that historically doesn't go out and seek help when it comes to trying to do things like start a business. So I think that'll be a super key component to getting this program up and started. But great job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so first question was, how did you identify a need or demand for the program? And then secondly, once you start getting applicants or requests for this, how are you going to start like filtering out those and selecting those that are suited for the program?
So in the beginning, when I first started in this position, we did notice kind of a need with all the patrons coming in following COVID, a lot of patrons asking for help, specifically with navigating tech to apply for like PPP loans, or a lot of folks who are looking for alternatives after no longer working their jobs during the pandemic and trying to start their own businesses. So we kind of saw an influx of these questions and requests, but not exactly an initiative to address them. And for this specific program, through like the recruitment process, we're hoping to get more of the beginner level of entrepreneurs. And a suggestion was to kind of host like an open house to invite these folks in to kind of see where everyone's at, because not everyone's going to be at the same level, but we are hoping to get more of the like beginner level classes. So not someone who's already had an established business, but maybe the folks who were thinking about it, but not sure where to start.
Yeah, awesome. And sorry, lastly, my question is that I know that entrepreneurs' schedules could be very busy. It is a 12-week program. Do you have requirements for attending all of those in order to get either the certificate or the tech, or what are some of those parameters to work around schedules of busy entrepreneurs?
So we were hoping to host like once a week, because I know everyone's schedules are very different, and we'd have extended hours. So we would meet after 5:30, which is typically the time people get out of work. And even though we meet once a week, it's kind of, we're still engaging with them offline, like outside of a classroom setting that best meets their schedule. But in terms of a synchronous class, that would only be once a week.
Awesome, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you very much, judges, for your questions. We're going to, and thank you, Camry, for your presentation. Great, great pitch. We're going to move on to our next pitch, Startups for All, with Teresa Holland Scott. I think we have a video that we're going to play.
Hey, good day, everyone. Thank you for being here, and thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to present to you our plan to help entrepreneurs, especially the marginalized, start up small businesses. Let me tell you a little bit about myself and the library that I am representing today. My name is Teresa Scott, and I am the manager of a public library in a village called Morin. It's located in Alberta, Canada, just 20 minutes away from Drumheller, the city of dinosaurs. Tourism brings plenty of opportunities, but its season is very short. As a library that's committed to its community's social, economic, and mental well-being, we provide services and programs that strengthen the skills of its entrepreneurs to help them through those dry seasons. Like many others, I found myself out of work during the pandemic, and I became severely depressed and needed to seek some help. While receiving help with my mental health, I was inspired to start a business. I had some painting skills and my husband builds fences, so we started THS Enterprises. My husband and I have since dropped the painting, and now we only do fencing. Fast forward to today, I am now a library manager who is passionate about supporting startups, especially for those who are marginalized by poverty, mental health, and physical challenges. Here are some statistics because, well, who doesn't like statistics? 13.9% of families in the Morin area are low income. And to give some context, that is 3.2% higher than the provincial and national average based on 2021 stats. That means about 35 families in this area are struggling to make ends meet. And according to Canada Without Poverty, individuals who are caught in persistent poverty often have physical, mental, and health disabilities and face many barriers such as lack of transportation, discrimination, and more. Being in a remote location as we are, access to education and employment is often restricted, furthering the pain of mental health issues. So, local partners and the library are working together to provide a space where these needs can be met. Let me introduce you to our partners. Friends of Morin School Council dedicates itself to providing students and the community with a space that will strengthen people for generations to come. This space is called the Hub, and that's where our makerspace will be. We also partner with Big Country Community Futures. It's a business resource network that provides expert mentorship, advice, resources, and the Entrepreneurs with Disabilities program. The Entrepreneurs with Disabilities program, EDP, helps people working with barriers or health conditions to start and grow businesses. The Morin Library currently provides them with a free space that is accessible for those who can't travel to Drumheller. So what are our needs? Well, we already have the entrepreneurs, the computers, the space, and the programming partners. But what we don't have are the makerspace items that are available to the public to use. I want to thank you, ELC, for partnering with us so that we can provide the missing elements. With the gift we receive, we wish to use it to bring in items that we couldn't otherwise, such as CNC machines, digital art tools, pottery resources, and technology teaching tools, all of which will help our entrepreneurs with their startups. I want to thank you, honorable judges. I look forward to working together with you on the ELC and Morin Library Startups for All campaign. And congratulations, Stacy, Jeff, and Camry. It has been an honor to pitch alongside you today. And if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them for you now.
Thank you so much, Teresa. Teresa was had a video going because she does have some technical difficulties, but she is here to answer questions from our judges. Judges, if you have any questions, now's the time. Thank you so much, Teresa.
Thank you too. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good.
Hi, Teresa. Great job. I just have a question. Do you plan to run a certain kind of programming out of this space, or it just truly be more of a maker space where entrepreneurs can come in and kind of use the space however they'd like?
We really do want to have like a program running out of it, and we already do have volunteers set up to teach people how to use the equipment and stuff like that.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Any other questions from our judges?
What is your long-term success plan?
Hey, so the long term, we would love to see. This is a good question, and I guess I didn't think how I would answer it. Well, we are going to be doing some surveys and stuff like that to see what the how the outcome has been for each person who's been a part of our entrepreneurial program with the Big Country Community Futures. And what we would love to see, like we're going to start out with them having a viable job, like small business option. And if it's viable, then they will continue to work with Big Country Community Futures, and we will continue to work alongside them with providing different tools to explore their products and all that kind of stuff. And we are also going to be applying for other grants as well to try and, you know, keep the maintenance up on all these things, because we know this technology is going to wear out and going to need some replacing. And of course, with the partnership with the school, we will be able to do that a little bit easier as well. I hope that answers the question. If it doesn't, please feel free to rephrase it so I'm understanding better.
No, perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, mine is in somewhat a similar vein. So for you, what does success look like for this program? And as you were talking, it seemed like there were a couple of different like layers or reasons why somebody would participate in this. You mentioned mental health. Obviously, it's also an entrepreneurship program. What would you say are the main goals of this particular program?
Well, the main goal, I would say, is to build up the confidence of people who are struggling, that feel like there's just no way, they shouldn't even try. We would love to see them give it a go. And success is not necessarily, you know, getting a business up and going, but learning along the way as well how to persevere, how to actually take steps, and when you fall back, because everybody does, that they would feel encouraged and mentored into standing back up again and, you know, not giving up. And also knowing when something it is time to let something go. I hope that answers.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Judges, any more questions? Hey, thank you so much, Teresa.
Thank you.
We're going to move on to our next pitch presentation, Ride, Repair, Read, Empowering Cyclists with Stacy McKenzie and Jeff Scott. You should have the ability to share your screen.
All right, can everyone see that okay?
Yes.
Great. Okay. Well, good morning. I'm Jeff Scott, Library Director for the Washoe County Library System. This is Ride, Repair, Read, Empowering Cyclists and Driving Economic Growth. Mitch Winterman is the one that actually submitted this, but he's not available, so I'm kind of stepping in just because I talk really fast. So Mitch is our amateur bike mechanic, also new business librarian at the Sparks Library, and then Stacy McKenzie, the Assistant Library Director for the Washoe County Library System. So the big idea is to install bicycle repair stations across our urban branches to foster workforce development. We have illustrating the accessibility and reliability of bicycles as the primary mode of transportation for our community members. So we've had many partnerships over the years with local bike enthusiasts, and they're very strong proponents in the local community. So the Washoe County Lit is in northern Nevada. We are near Reno, we're in Reno Sparks area. We're near beautiful Lake Tahoe, beautiful mountains, lovely riding. We have 300 sunny days of the year. Great opportunity for us to help encourage bike riding in the community and making sure that people can do that safely and continue to do that even if they're mid-bike ride and they throw a tire. There's a library nearby to help them get that repaired quickly. So the population locally is 500,000 people. Per capita income is 44,000. Population living in poverty is 10%. So there's a lot of people who need to rely on public transportation and bike riding to get to where they need to go. We did a recent study on the RTC, which is local bus routes, and many of them don't even stop at our local libraries. So it becomes a detriment for people trying to get to work, trying to get the things done, not just recreationally, but also getting to work on time. So the City of Reno approved a $20 million project to improve cycling infrastructure. So that's ongoing now. The libraries that we're talking about are downtown Reno and Sierra View Library, which is basically the corridor in which these improvements will take place. So it makes it easier to walk downtown, makes it easier to bike downtown, and it makes it easier to enjoy all the improvements that the city is making and the recent economic growth in Reno Sparks area. So this gives you a little bit of a map. Washoe County, northern Nevada. You see Lake Tahoe, Pyramid Lake, lots of opportunities to bike ride. One of the opportunities road-wise is the McCarran Loop. And so you can see in there, that's the majority of where our population lives in the McCarran Loop. So we're talking about downtown Reno Library, which is near the Truckee River, Sierra View Library, which is sort of the end of Virginia Street where those improvements are being made, and then Sparks Library. Sparks Library is downtown Sparks, which is a different city than Reno, but it also is adjacent to a local middle school and a high school. So it's ideal for kids going back and forth to school on a bike. They have a problem with their bike, the library is there to help. So 30% of the entire population lives there. They're less than 8 miles from any location. Half businesses in the county are in this McCarran Loop area. So it's a big loop, goes all the way around. I always make the pitch to do the monorail for McCarran monorail, but hasn't caught on yet. So that's always an opportunity in the future. So our planned bicycle repair stations at downtown Reno, Sierra View, and Sparks Library also have securely installed into concrete surfaces, common bicycle tools securely attached, have instructional material available so people kind of know if they're going to put that chain back into the bike, how it works. Also have workshops and programs that we have in the community. So this is very similar that we've had with repair workshops in our maker spaces over the last 5 years. So we've had partnerships with Patagonia. They come in, they do other kind of repairs for clothing and other items. And also we have local bicycle shops coming in, teaching people how to do maintenance on their bike, how to do repairs on their bike. So starting that back up for this program would be ideal, getting people back in the library, learning how to ride the bike, enjoying the sunny, beautiful weather, and then as all thanks to their local library. So costs, we're looking at 3 stations, about $3,000 for the 3 stations installation, but additional bicycle repair books, printing promotional flyers, purchase of tools, and a contingency fund. So $3,000 basically for 3 different locations. Depending on size, can scale up and down. So if we don't win first place, we can also just put it at one location. Downtown Reno is ideal for that, as we get a lot of traffic on foot. We're also just across the street from the Discovery Museum, Nevada Museum of Art, and lots of other amenities that you can easily walk to. It'd be great to have people having a family bike ride downtown to see all the amenities, and we're here to make sure they can do that safely. So driving economic growth, where you're biking for fun, you're biking for business, it gets a lot of people downtown. People like that. You're going to approach the businesses. You're going to be shopping downtown, really trying to revitalize the downtown area. This is a great opportunity to do that. Increase the library usage, increase businesses, and just increase that walking downtown and for their own health as well. So the future, so we have partnerships with Truckee Meadows Bicycle Alliance. They're already trying to get Center Street to be bike only, which is really a great idea. We have partnerships with Kiwanis and the Reno Bike Project, and we're looking to expand that as well to make sure that the library is a safe space for bicyclists. They'll learn more about biking safely, making sure they can repair their bike safely, and know that you can easily bike downtown on Virginia Street with these new improvements. Tracking usage, so we'll track how many people are using the bike repair stations, how many items are being checked out that's related to that, surveys, workshop attendance, partnership engagements, and then all studies about how people are using it and how that's improving their daily lives. That's the pitch. Thank you very much. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you very much, Jeff and Stacy, for your presentation. We'll now open it up for the judges to ask any pertinent questions. Judges, your questions.
Thank you, Jeff. My question is there anyone else in town that's doing something similar?
From our research, no, we don't see the bike repair locations other than at bicycle shops. So we definitely want to expand those locations right now, and basically making on major thoroughways as well. So there are some in town. We're not aware of them, and then there's none of them on this corridor, the Virginia Street corridor, that we're trying to advertise.
And this is a free program, correct?
Free program, that's correct.
And how do you keep it sustainable past this award?
Well, most of the original purchase is equipment. So for a great grant project, usually you get equipment. The equipment sustains itself, and so we're just doing ongoing workshops, buy the material, the books, the repair stations, and then just doing regular workshops, either by library staff who are experts or by getting other experts in the local community through our partnerships to do those talks. So it's pretty straightforward as far as making it sustainable, since we'll have the equipment for the future.
Thank you.
Hey, Jeff, great job. Quick question. What plan do you guys have for marketing this to the community, that this is a program that you guys are rolling out, instead of just people walking down the street, maybe seeing it and being like, what is this?
Well, honestly, a lot of the stuff like this is word of mouth. So we have all of these partnerships with bicycle enthusiasts and nonprofits, getting the word out with them, also sending out press releases, sending out flyers, putting it in our library brochures. We have a really great reach with our weekly newsletter or digital newsletter, as well as our quarterly brochures. We have quarterly brochures that talk about all our events and programs for the quarter. So you have summer reading brochure, fall brochure, winter brochure, spring brochure, include those bicycle stops and repair kits in the brochure as well. And we'll get thousands of people coming in the library every day. And as well, the partnerships getting the word out. We'll definitely have, it would definitely be well known that we have these locations.
Okay, and then where did the idea for this stem from? Was it people coming into the library saying like, man, I rode my bike here, but something happened and I needed it to get fixed? Or how did you guys kind of get involved in this?
Mitch could probably talk more to that. I don't know, Stacy has more background on the idea behind it. I'm here just kind of being the pitch person, but we do have a lot of bicycle alliances in town. And like I mentioned, they're trying to change Center Street. It's a one-way street into just bike only. And we've had these improvements downtown the city is doing for better walkability, bicycle ability. And then we also have a lot of people riding their bikes to the library. Stacy, do you have anything else in the background?
And you touched on that. Basically, Mitch was looking at what the city was always doing. We always try to support the strategic plan of our city and what's going on. And this aligned very closely with Mitch, who loves entrepreneurship. So he really looked at the biking as part of that and aligned with what the city's doing. So we're trying to make that partnership even with our own county.
Okay, thank you.
Tell me a bit more about the community building aspect that you were talking about earlier. I think there's like a lot of opportunity and potential there, so I just wanted to see what your thoughts were on that.
It's also just building those alliances. We already have those established alliances with local nonprofits and bicycle enthusiasts. So it's very easy for us to kind of deepen those relationships and things like this. We've also tried to have bike lockers at some of our library locations. So you have the bike lock you can put on, lock up your bike, but also put it inside a receptacle so that it keeps the whole bike safe and have a code in there. So it keeps the bike safe in there. So we've had different permutations of trying to serve this population, that bicycle enthusiasts and nonprofits that support them. So we have those relationships already. So it's very easy to deepen those once we get going with this.
Okay, and then the initiative is also to encourage people to do that more, right? To cycle more and to have that traffic for downtown.
Yeah, because we're having a lot of changes downtown, lots of new businesses coming downtown. So bringing that traffic there would definitely be welcome in the community.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from our judges? Okay, thank you very much, Jeff and Stacy, for your presentation. Wonderful. Thank you all to our pitch presenters today. These were wonderful pitches, really awesome ideas for kickstarting economic development in your communities. We're now going to take some time for our judges to transition into their alone time in a judging room. And while we have our judges away, we're going to be doing some activities, one of them being our audience choice voting, and also a moderated discussion with folks in today's pitch competition. So I'm going to hand it over to Teresa, if she's on the call.
Hi, Monica, I'm here.
Awesome. I'm going to hand it over while our judges break out into the judge room. Thank you so much, Teresa.
Terrific. Thanks, LaMonica. Boy, what a fun day. They've got their work cut out for them over in the other room with lots of great discussion, I'm sure. Thank you to all the crews for being here to share your ideas. A little bit of housekeeping here. We'd like to encourage everyone to join the ELC LinkedIn page. It's a great place for online networking and sharing ideas. I'm going to put that link right here in the chat room for you. Steve, let's put that to everyone. Okay. And the planning for the ELC Fall Mini Conference is already underway. This is going to, again, be free online. And this summer, please keep a lookout for announcements and requests for new program submissions. I can tell that we've got a really energetic crew here just from those that have done their pitch today. And I'm sure there's more in the audience that will have other creative ideas. So a couple of questions for our teams today. Let's talk a little bit about economic development and entrepreneurial partnering within your community and your organization. What makes those relationships beneficial for both parties, and how do you continue to develop new relationships and foster the existing ones? And that's to Camry, Teresa, Jeff, and Stacy. Anyone can jump in on that one.
I'll start with that one a little bit.
Sure.
I think it's important to identify what is already going on in your community. And if you already have people who are kind of working with entrepreneurs, what can we do to support what they're already doing? And what can we do to help with some of those small bits and pieces that those larger entities maybe work with the entrepreneurs can't do, like transportation, like connected with technology. So I feel like that's our role, is support some of those programs that are already happening. Look for those gaps and fill them in.
That's a great point, Stacy. And Jeff mentioned earlier that aligning with your economic and strategic development partnerships and supporting them and identifying where you're both working toward the same goal. It's not only supporting your community and economic development teams, but it's also positioning you for potential additional funding, because those economic development teams are always looking for opportunities to spend state dollars in a way that aligns with those strategic visions. So those partnerships that you talk about at the economic development level, I think are critical. Thank you, Stacy.
And then oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead,
Just
Cameron.
building on that, at least what I've noticed is that not a lot of people know that a library is more than a building with books in it. So a lot of what I'm doing is having to actually go out into the community. And I mentioned in my pitch, work smarter, not harder. There's so many other nonprofit orgs in the community, and we all have the same mission. It's just a matter of how can we all connect to leverage our own strengths to help each other and really strengthen and widen our reach for the community. Because at the end of the day, we all do have the same goal of serving the neighborhoods that we're in. So it just makes the most sense to actually go into those neighborhoods to identify those needs and really building on those partnerships for, to reach our common goal.
Absolutely. And Cameron, with your background with an MBA and a focus on marketing and being a certified entrepreneurship librarian, it feels to me like you are able to look through the strategy from a number of different lenses, both from your experience, knowing your community, recognizing the pains. You're also a small business owner, I believe you said, so you're able to recognize some of the challenges that folks are up against, and also have developed strategies with your background to help them identify paths forward. And like you said, you have to be an ambassador for your library, because libraries only exist and their existence can only be justified when you're bringing value add to your community, and that's always changing. So figuring out what the community needs and how you can help them get there is one of the most incredible ways to serve the library as a librarian in the community.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that.
And I'd like to add that I have personally discovered that the more I'm involved in the community around me in different things, even just on a personal level, the more I'm able to promote what I'm doing, but also find out what other people are wanting and what has worked for them. And then we can kind of tie that together. I've even just started putting out a monthly not newsletter, but a calendar where the community can put their events on it. And that has been extremely helpful in getting the word out for everybody.
Absolutely. And you remind us, Teresa, that libraries really are grassroots organizations for the people and by the people. So for you to be a champion of the space where others can come together and promote their interests in a way that you've created that platform for them, right? To continue to promote what's important to them, and everyone has that one calendar to go to. It just makes sense. And as a librarian, especially in a community such as yours, that sounds like you're a little more rural in nature, right? Yeah, you become the face of the community and the go-to on multiple levels. Coming from a small rural community here, I know that the library serves so many different functions. So regardless of where you are the face of the community, and we always want to be pinging the librarian to see, what's up and coming and what should I keep an eye out for. So I love that you've created that platform for your community. That's terrific. Well, let's see here. Steve left me with a couple other questions. Let me scroll down here. Oh, so outside of those that have granted the pitches today, for those that have been listening in as attendees, what are some of the takeaways from today's presentations? What resonates with you? What's inspired you?
This is Jeff with the Washington County Library. I just think the creativity of all the presenters today is really great. And I think one of the great things about libraries is that a library is different in every community. So there's a community need, librarians figure out what that is and go right to it. And I think that's really cool. It's always one of the things where you don't have all libraries doing the same things, but every library knows its community, and then seeing all the variety of how they do that service is always kind of it's always encouraging and inspiring to see that. So
Absolutely.
I just wanted to add, I was a few minutes late at the beginning, but I'm from Privco, and we're one of the sponsors of the conference.
Hi, Dan, welcome.
Hey, thank you so much. We are a database that covers private companies, but most people don't realize that 99.9% of companies in the US are private. We focus on ones that are doing at least a couple million in revenue, but all of those started with an idea, with a problem to solve. And so it was just so inspiring to hear about all the work that was being done here. And I have no doubt that, we'll be covering some of these companies at some point in our database. So thank you for inviting us to sponsor and for taking part here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dan, for being here and for your sponsorship. And Dan, you raise a great point, whether it's a small business that later finds their way into a larger M&A, which is representative of many of the small businesses, in your portfolio of companies covered in the database. It's not unlike, that's the way relationship starts. That's the way funding channels and new strategic developments start. They start with an idea, a pitch like today, developing programming, identifying those alliances and partnerships, strategic visions, and securing a few additional funding sources along the way to take it to the next level.
Exactly. Yep.
I see some of our team back. Steve, welcome back. I see you. You guys have surfaced from the room. I said it's got to be a great conversation going on back there because wow, we had some great conversation over here as well. But I'm anxious to hear what happened on the other side of the door. So back over to you guys.
I will take a second. I do want to let, before we do the audience award, I do want to let Dan say a few words from Privco.
I actually just introduced myself and said a few things, but yeah. No, I'm sure you're busy balancing a lot of things, but yeah, thank you so much for inviting us to sponsor. I mean, we were founded by an entrepreneur who was looking for funding, looking for investment, looking for partnerships, and realizing that there was very little data out there on these private companies, and not many folks realize that. Of companies doing 10 million or more in revenue, right? They've made it, they're growing. 95% of those companies are private in the US and still under the radar. And a lot of them like to keep it that way. So they are not beholden to shareholders, and they can keep working on the ideas that got the company started, right? As they continue to grow. So so inspiring to hear about the problems that these entrepreneurs are trying to solve, and hopefully they can all succeed and keep growing with these ideas.
Thank you so much, Dan. And thank you for sponsoring today's event as well. We're going to now take some time to vote for our Audience Choice Award recipients. We do have a poll that will come up. Please vote for your Audience Choice recipient. And I'm sorry, go ahead, Angel.
I was going to say, we just have a statement to say before the audience award. Again, just as a reminder, we ask that audience members employed by the 3 libraries represented in the pitches not participate in the audience award. That would be unfair to the smaller libraries that competed today. So I'm going to launch the poll now. Everyone vote. And when I see that the majority of folks have voted, we will share the Audience Choice Award for additional funding. Hopefully everybody can see that. Awesome. I see people voting. All right. We are over 60% voted.
Hey, Angel.
Mhm.
I cannot vote. Is that by?
Oh, because you're a co-host, probably.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
No, that's all right. Just checking.
All right. We're at 75, 77 participated. We'll give it about 10 more seconds. All right, I think we have our winner. So let me share the results. All right, Tech to Trade, Bridging the Digital Divide for Entrepreneurs by Camry for Knight Memorial Library wins the additional funding for the Audience Awards. Congratulations. Now we want to hear from our judges about who wins the other prize money. All right, I'm going to stop sharing.
And judges, I'm going to share the results too. And here they are. So congratulations to Camry for first. I mean, remember, everyone wins, but Camry for getting first place, Teresa second place, and Jeff and Scott for third place. And once again, we're so grateful that all 3 libraries, all 4 pitchers, we're here today. And we hope we stay in touch as you all use these funds from our vendor friends to work on these projects for your communities.
Yay!
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate this.
All right, thanks everyone. I'm going to stop the recording, but we will still hold on.